I want to welcome one and all to session 13 of The Secret of the Dragon Emperor. If ever there was a session for bad luck, it would be session 13. But let's see if we can buck that trend. Where we left off last time was the Tower of Sighs. Let me take us to the map. The Tower of Sighs, and this was a place in the Haunted Marshes, where we went again in search of the final piece of the dragon statuette that will unlock access to the sword Umdurman. And once we have that, we can go to the Isle of Mists and defeat Azrael Koth before his minions try to recover the sword. And perhaps the piece has already fallen in their hands and an ambush lies in wait for us. That we don't know, but we're one of many groups that are seeking these pieces, and we have 3 of them, so we definitely are in the lead. But we went to the Tower of Sighs, and it was a kind of a difficult journey. We first encountered a couple of trolls, and these trolls were not willing to let us pass without something shiny, and they really wanted Makander's armor, but instead he gave them his griffin shield. And I'm sure it was not an easy thing for him to do, but sometimes that's better than fighting 2 trolls in ground with which they are familiar, and who knows what tricks were up their sleeve. When we got near to the Tower of Sighs, we stumbled across 2 bandits who were bringing in supplies, and they tried to recruit us into their gang. We met the rest of the gang, and they said that there was great treasures hidden beneath the tower, but the entrance to the cellar was blocked by a massive boulder. And there was also a giant living in the tower, and they tried to get him to move the boulder, but he was ever delaying, saying, I need this, I need that, I can't lift it on a day when the sun is rising in the east, I need something, a day where there's no sun, and just constantly making excuses. Well, you met this giant, and it turns out that he was a gentle soul. And he sensed in us something different. We were not like the others, the bandits that he had met. And he was willing to help us. And he granted us entrance into the cellar. And he told us a few things, and I'm hoping y'all remember it. He told us some things when we find the sword. There are things we need to do before we take the sword. He said everything will be there before you, in the crypt beneath Outskirt, but there is a special thing that needs to happen before you pick up the sword, and he gave us that information. He also sought refuge from the Haunted Marshes, from these bandits, and we told him that the Fort Malice had been destroyed, and Rotlog, who this giant knew, was again in control of the hill, and that a tree bearing golden apples grew there. And so he was excited to go find a new home away from this marsh. And he carried us through the marsh back to the trolls, where we were able to recover the griffin shield. I believe we gave them some treasure that we had found in the tower. He deposited us near the Road's End Inn, and then he headed to the northwest to go along the banks of the Kumar River to find Fort Malice and make a new home there. Now here outside the Road's End Inn, we have had some ideas of where else we might go, and these 2 places have been marked on our map. One is the Dead Eyes Cave, which lies to the south of us in the Kumar Mountains. There's a path that would lead us there. The other lies to the north, the village of the day before. And we know not where that piece may be, but it's likely in one of those 2 places, unless it has fallen into the hands of those loyal to Azrael Koth and the cultists of Sathmog. So from the Road's End Inn, where do we proceed?
I think it's pretty much a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it's honestly, and as I kind of gave you a peek behind the curtain last time, it's going to be wherever I put it. And so, and I asked if you guys want to visit both places. So it's going to be, and you said yes, so it's going to be in the second place you go to. So you might as well hit them both. Doesn't matter which one you pick now, it'll be in the other one. But this way you get to see the whole campaign. I'll pull the curtain back again. It could be anywhere. I don't know where it could be. Where do you want to go?
It's on the inside of this dragon, this sea creature, in the middle of this lake.
How did you know?
Well, if we go to the village of the day before first, and then make our way down to the Deadeye's cave, we'd be closer to outskirts.
Yes, and
Yeah.
if you obtain the piece in the village of the day before, it's a little bit of a longer trek. But if it's not there and you go to Deadeye's cave, it's just a less than a half day's journey to get to outskirt from there. So do you head north?
Sounds good.
That's what Phineas votes for.
All right. Well, we will need some travel rolls. Oops, let me get my measuring tool out here. Let's go 15. So it's going to take us, that would be one, so it's going to take two journeys to get there. So, I'll turn that off. There we go. The first stretch here, we will need to make a bushcraft roll to find our way. Who is doing that for us?
I'll give it a shot.
Give it a go. Oh, okay.
Well,
Why don't we have Agatha make these bushcraft rolls? Oh, yes, that's right.
I don't know, but it's going to get better because I get to roll on it at the end.
Yeah, let's see what the journey mishap is. Let me make this a private roll so that it doesn't spoil it in case it's something in here we want to keep secret.
I secretly get thrown in a hole and urinated on.
Oh, it won't be secret. Everyone will see it.
Yes.
As you are nearing the edge of the Magna Woods and near that lake, in fact, you know, we can refill our water at that lake. We're getting out of the haunted marshes. This might be clean flowing water finally. As you get near there, you hear, Agatha, you hear growling sounds coming from the woods, and you know there could be any matter of thing in the woods, but it's definitely a growling sound. You could give me a beast lore roll to see if you know what this might be.
Nope.
No. It sounds big and it sounds heavy.
That sounds dangerous. Guys, I found something. There's something in the woods.
Let me have... yeah, we had a dire beaver. Now it's time for a dire squirrel. Let's have... let me have Frostbyte. Give me an awareness roll.
Can I do like... can I use my hunting instincts to like sniff it out or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm aware of something.
You recognize the smell. This is bear. There is a bear in this area. You can see scratches on some of the trees. There's, bear scat near the trail. It's got bits of berries and fur in it. It's most likely a bear that you're smelling here.
I will point this out to my halfling friend and say, I believe that you have found a bear, and unless you need a really ugly-looking rug for, like, your log cabin, we should probably try to avoid it.
Well, that's going to be a sneaking roll if you want to try and get past this bear. What could go wrong?
Sneaking.
Don't worry about us bears. We're just kind of going by. Don't worry about it.
Sneaking 8 with a bane. Yeah, I just start banging pots together going, hey bear, hey bear!
I'll distract it with my bagpipes.
Yes.
Well, Lucien and Phineas, you guys will be hidden as I take us to a map. How about Makander? Are you even going to bother sneaking? I know that's not Makander's strength.
I did give it a go. Rolled a dragon, but also a 16. So,
so we'll take the
Not
16. Well, let's go to a map here. And how about? Oh, this looks like a good one here. Let me pull some tokens out here for us. So we've got Agatha banging pots and pans, Frostbyte inspecting the scat, Makander likewise banging pots and pans. Phineas and Lucien, you guys have the wherewithal to hide behind a rock. And let me grab us a bear. And there's a bear somewhere up here in the woods.
He's got a cloak on.
Yeah, he's a camouflage bear. Only looks like a bear. Let's pull us all into initiative order here. Shuffle the deck. Go ahead and draw a card. Well, at least the bear's going to go last, so that's good.
Is there...
Lucien, you're up first. You can't see the bear, but you can hear it's coming from up here in the trees. The bear is basically, it has cover from here. If you want to take a shot at it, it would be with a bane.
Oh. Alright, I hardly want to waste the arrow, but who knows, maybe a shot will scare.
Yeah, shot across the bow.
Oh, sorry. I also have a long range bane, so that'd be 2 total.
Yeah. Oh, dang. Well, worst possible outcome. Go ahead and click on that mishap. But you'll get a chance to improve your roll. Oh, that's okay. As you pull it out, maybe you dump your arrows out, and they're just scattered all over the ground. But at least you're still hidden. Do you want to move out, or do you want to stay in that little spot of cover there?
I think Lucien is going to stay put.
Nice.
No interest in wildlife.
Frostbite. How does Frostbite take on the bear?
So, just kind of looking through stuff I have. And
Some of those
Frostbite.
berries?
Huh?
Do you have some of those berries that make things stoned
Not on me. I'm sure there's some in the
in the wagon?
cart. So Frostbite is going to attempt to try to scare the bear off.
I like it.
And the way that he's going to do that is he's going to cast light on the bag of marbles he has, and then have the pet raven, very clearly go in an arc and then empty the marbles over top of the bear, just to confuse it and get it to run the hell away.
I love it. Cast the spell and then give me a maybe either a beast lore or persuasion roll, and I'll give you a boon on that. This is a great idea.
I'll do persuasion with a boom. Should have put on my fine clothes, but I don't think it would have counted. Really get some.
You got it.
Yeah.
You drop these down, and the bear is clearly startled, seeing these these things. The bear. He's been hiding in the dark. He's an ambush sort of predator, and he sees these lights, and his whole plan, his whole day is foiled, and he scampers off into the woods. Do you pursue?
I have no intention of pursuing.
Agatha or Makander or Phineas, do you want to pursue the bear?
No, I will just yell, "Yeah, don't come back!"
Nice. Always nice when something can be overcome without combat. You make it to the edge of the lake. If anyone wants to do any hunting or fishing or foraging here, you would have the opportunity before you continue on to the village.
I shall hunt.
Oh, nice. So, for hunting, if you were successful, roll a 1d6. So, Agatha, you see a rabbit.
Oh.
And Phineas, you can roll a 1d6 as well.
Phineas was more hoping that he might find some fish.
Oh, you're fishing. Yes. Do you have a fishing pole? I think there's one in the cart.
There's one in the cart.
Then roll a 1d4 to see how many rations worth of fish you catch. And Agatha, roll a 1d3 to see how many rations of rabbit you get. So we get 2 fish, and it's a fat rabbit, and 3 rations. So that's 5 rations. That's enough for everyone. If we want to cook it, we can cook it. That would be just a bushcraft roll as we make a little camp here.
I think I've proven myself unworthy of bushcrafting. So,
who would like to prepare the meal?
All right, maybe Lucien will do some cooking.
Yeah.
I think we've given away all of our berries. Definitely have to go get more.
Yeah, I think. Ooh, that was almost a demon. You cook up the surf and turf, and everyone can eat heartily. That will be your meal for the day, so no one needs to eat a ration today. And it's a fine meal. You wash up there in the near that little spring that feeds into the lake, and the water's crisp and clear, much better than the haunted marshes. And judging by your reckoning, the village should be but another 5 to 6 hour walk from here. And it's about noon. You'll get there about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Who wants to do this next little bit of bushcraftery?
Is that a 5 to 6 hour walk with Agatha leading, or
that would be a 12-hour walk with Agatha leading.
yeah.
Phineas,
Well, she's so low.
Yeah, she wasn't looking up. Didn't see the scratches on the tree from the back. But Phineas gets us there. He takes us along the edge of the woods. He finds a path that is suitable for the cart, and you arrive at the village. Let me get this ready for us.
Oh, I hope they have a tavern.
Of course they have a tavern. You can't have a village without a tavern.
Okay, let me take us here. And let me grab my notes real quick. Okay. In a valley between 2 hills, the road is blocked by a barricade that seems to be a mixture of orc palisades, dwarven structures, elven ironwork, thorny hedges of the kind grown by halflings, and other things of indeterminate origin. Texts in unknown languages have been painted on the various parts of the barricade. Phineas, give me a Myths and Legends roll.
Certainly. Oh, I know nothing of this place.
You know that it's old, but you cannot make heads or tails of any of this. Who would have done this? Who left this? Just judging by the appearance of it, this has been here for a long, long time. Now, Lucien, as a scholar, let me have you give me a languages roll, as you note that some of the markings on here are, in fact, writing. I have two Makanders. I don't have a Phineas on here. How did that happen? We'll grab Phineas.
Snuck one in on you.
There we go. Do you want to push that languages roll?
I think so, yeah. Let's,
Excellent. You look, and it's hard to read. It takes you some time, but you find that there are various warnings written in different languages, in Orcish, in the common tongue of the Misty Vale, although it's an older, be like Old English or Middle English, written in Dwarven runes and Elven script, even in the faint, simple scrawls of halflings, and it's warnings. It says, "Turn back immediately." Now this barricade is huge. To climb over this would require an acrobatics roll. To try and tear this thing apart would take you days.
You sure about the bear?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they wouldn't put up signs if there wasn't something really good in there.
Yeah.
Does it appear that the barricade could be quickly removed with fire?
It could be removed with fire, but it would take hours to burn down. There's so much wood and fuel there. It would destroy it, but it would take hours.
Well, we could roast whatever food we've gotten on this very ample flame while it burns down if we like, and we can take a rest here.
Alternatively, it would be an acrobatics roll to climb it. But you could do that if you like. If you want to set fire to it, you could set up camp here, let it burn down for a shift, do a shift rest, and then continue on.
I mean, that would definitely summon anybody in,
For
in
miles
sight of
around.
the pillar of smoke, which would really speed us up, in encountering, whatever.
Yeah, whatever cultists or servants of Azrael might be nearby.
I'm sure they'll come out and thank us for clearing the debris away from their home.
Well, it's a beacon for free loot, is what you're saying.
Well, I guess I'll try and climb it.
Yeah, give me an acrobatics roll.
Seeing if I have a rope. Does not look like it.
Lucien, by the way, has a rope and a
You have a hook.
grappling hook. It is my third character to have been schlepping this around.
This would give you a boon on the roll.
All right. Yeah, I was looking for a rope and a grappling hook in the cart, but I didn't see any. All right. Yeah, I'll toss up a rope. Acrobatics.
It easily catches on the barricade. There's so much for it to catch on. So acrobatics with a boon.
Barely.
Frostbyte manages to clamber over. And when you get over to the top, I'm going to move you on the other side of the barricade. We'll let the others go as well. Nice. Phineas, you managed to scramble over as well. Who's next? Ooh, Lucien. Thank goodness for the rope. You know that you probably would have fallen and broken your neck did you not have that rope there.
Oh boy.
I'd gone 2 whole weeks without making a character.
I know. Do you want to push that, Makander?
Yeah, I'd better.
Ooh. Okay.
Agatha will climb up there.
It's not so bad, Makander. You take this much damage and your armor does not absorb it. You take 4 points of damage. But you manage to...
Perhaps Makander could tie it around himself and we could hoist him up.
drag him up and over. He goes through all the brambles and rusted nails.
He has sturdy armor. He should be fine.
Tie this around your neck.
When you get to the other side, you see the chicken. No, on the other side, before you, the air shimmers with all the colors of the rainbow. You glimpse a village on the other side of this semi-translucent barrier, but the view is too blurred to make out any details. Near the shimmering barrier stands a particularly well-dressed mallard with a book in his hands. And he says, "Well, aren't you courageous? I am Canutus Boetii, an academe. I have been experimenting in this village. I did not know I would have associates to come and help me. That barricade you crossed has been here for centuries to prevent people from doing exactly what you just did. But now that you're here, I might as well help you. What is your business here in the village of the day before?"
Come to talk to you about your cars. No, sorry. We are seeking a piece of a statue. We're looking for a little head.
Piece of the statue. I know the statue of what you speak, for you are not the first to come in search of it.
Did the others find it?
Well, they entered the village, but I have not seen them return. I cannot say if it has been found or not.
What's with the wall?
Allow me to show you. 'Tis most fascinating. Give me a persuasion roll.
Ooh, I'm pretty good at persuasion.
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely, sir. Show us.
He says, "Young one, come. Tickle the barrier with your hand. It's quite safe to do this, I assure you." And he goes and strokes his hand across the barrier, and it's almost like if there were like a piece of dental dam, like that thin rubber sheeting. And as he puts his fingers across, you see the little indentations of his hand. He says, "Mind you do not push too deeply. Just simply touch the surface."
Trust me, it's not the first time she's been told not to push too deeply.
And she will do it, and she will say, "What's it for, though?"
Well, when you do it, you feel a tickling sensation on your hand. And he says, "I call this the event horizon. For anything that passes through to the other side does not come back, nor is it seen of nor heard of again. And such has it been for over 700 years, or so I read in my books. But there is more. I have tested various substances for their effect on this magical barrier, and I am happy to demonstrate that only one has had any effect at all." And from a box he takes out some dry grains and sprinkles them on the barrier. They begin to glow before they accelerate at great speed and disappear from view. "These grains are some of the rarest things I own. Guano draconis, fossilized dragon droppings. These were retrieved from the lair of a long-dead dragon. I assure you this is most strange." And he takes one more grain and he tosses it gently towards the barrier. And when it strikes the barrier, it glows, and then you see it rocket inside the village like a comet streaking across the sky. Fascinating. Of what use it has, I know not. But I will continue my research. Now, tell me you're not going inside there. For if you are, leave anything of value here, and I will assure that your next of kin may have use of it.
Can we just borrow some dragon shit so we get out?
I'm afraid I cannot afford to give you any. I do not think it will let you out, for nothing seems to come through the other side.
Well, I mean, you haven't used it to get in and then used it again to get out?
I have not set foot through the event horizon. I have seen others enter in, but none have left.
You call yourself an academic?
Yes, I am not a fool. I merely observe and record my observations in my books. Are you
Mind if I
going to
look
pass through here? I'm afraid you cannot look at my book. For
Why not?
my writing, it's in a rough draft. It's not ready for publication.
Well, no, but I could look through and I could see what you've observed in the past, and that way we can try to get an idea of what, lies ahead of us, or maybe what we need to do different, right? Like who was successful in getting through and all that neat stuff, and that way we can...
Oh, yeah, well, that I can show you. And he opens up his book, and he has a tally, and it's listed by date, by season, by time of day, people that have come through that he has either spoken with or that he has merely observed and remained hidden, approach and enter into the barricade. And then he has another page that is those who have successfully returned, and there are no names and no notes there. As I told you, people enter in all times of the day, all times of the year, but none seem to leave. The last two that entered in, where are they? And he scrolls through. Oh, yes, there were two of them. The first was, a young woman. Thorindil was her name. She wore this terribly smelly black robe, awful stringy hair. She had some marks upon her arm, which I recognized, of course, as belonging to that demon cult. There was another. This was an orc, Uka. And Uka said they were there on a mission from their great leader. And Uka, I'm afraid, has not been seen either. And that was 2 months ago since those two entered in. Mind you, they did not enter in at the same time. I fear they would have been most hated rivals and enemies of one another. They both sought that piece of the dragon statuette that they assumed was inside. Phineas, what are you trying to sense?
What kind of magic maintains this barrier?
Ooh, give me a roll. This will be your magic roll. So it's not elementalism, so I'm going to have you just do your magic skill roll. It's not one that you are familiar with. It is temporal magic, time magic.
Is it something I could undo with a dispel?
Do you say that out loud?
More I'm thinking it to myself.
That you're not sure, but you would be shocked if that has not been attempted. And if you were to ask the Mallard, he would say, that was the first thing I tried. It simply did not work. Mind you, my friends, should you choose not to go in, I would be more than happy to fund my academic research by teaching you skills. I know a great deal about beast lore and languages and myths and legends. For but 10 gold coins, I would be willing to sit a stretch and teach you what I know.
You need to get a stretch in here anywhere, right? Anyway, right?
Yes. I'm not going anywheres, and if you go through there, you're not going anywheres either. That I can assure you. Or, honestly, I don't know where you'll end up. Well, I see no one comes out here. That doesn't mean they don't come out somewheres else. Perhaps it is even that dark abyssal plane wherein the demons come from. Perhaps it is a deep, cavernous abyss beneath the sea, and they drown. Or perhaps they find something in there so glorious they don't wish to leave.
I mean, what? I mean, no one but a fool would enter a portal to the demon realm.
Precisely. Who would undertake such a thing? Why, not Canutius.
Well, Nothing bad has ever happened. Going through a portal. So.
Do you even spend a moment and think about Thaddeus that perhaps he could be on the other side of this invisible barrier?
That's a very real possibility.
None of this sounds safe.
I never said it was safe. It is just as well you go to your deaths as you go to some great triumph. One fool even came with his fellow, and they tied a rope betwixt the two, and one went in with the rope leading out through the horizon, and the rope went slack and was no more. When he pulled the rope back through, there was naught but dust coating the rope.
Dust. Oh.
I mean, this is very academically, fascinating.
Yes, that's why I'm here. You're welcome to stay. I can teach you what I know if you like, for 10 gold, of course.
Well, I'm new to the Misty Vale and had spent down most of my savings on the journey.
A pauper. Well, I can't just give it away.
What did he say? He could train his son?
He can train in beast lore. He has 17 in beast lore. He has 16 in languages and 15 in myths and legends.
He can't teach you religions. I would spend 10 to give to get training in languages.
Yeah, and as long as you're not at 16, he will train you. And for 10 gold, you'll go up one level.
Oh, I thought I just got a roll, but that's fine.
I don't think you have to roll with the teacher, do you? Or no, is it intelligence? I think it is.
I think I get like an automatic immediate check to see if it improves.
That might be what it is.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
but
a teacher. Yeah, so you get an additional advancement roll to improve the skill. You make the roll immediately without waiting for the session to end. That's right.
Ooh.
So if you want to do that, you may.
Yeah, it does go up.
Wow, you do.
And if Lucien wanted one of those as well, I'll front him the money since he's just joining us.
Slip him a little IOU.
Yeah.
Oh, great! Greatly appreciated, and the odds of any of us living for this IOU to get cashed in,
Right? Might as well
are
spend
slim
the
enough
money now.
that it's. All right, Lucien would absolutely.
Beast lore,
Take
myths
that.
and legends, or languages.
Myths and legends, absolutely.
Yeah, so check the improvement box and then go ahead and make an improvement roll. Oh, and you got it.
I would love to do a languages for 10.
Go for it. Nice.
Hey, it actually worked.
How about Makander and Phineas?
No money. Well, he's got 10 silver.
Oh, so what's the cutoff? I have a 15 in Myths and Legends.
So
Could I
he does
train
as well, so he couldn't increase yours. Languages he has 16, beast lore he has 17.
See, I have a 17 in languages and 17 in beast lore.
So
So
yeah, he couldn't
cannot
teach you
train.
anything. If you wanted to fund Makander, he could, or Makander, you could offer to sell something that you have.
I have 9 gold.
Like your beaver sleeping fur, he would take that.
If Makander wishes to learn a skill, Phineas will provide the gold. He has plenty.
Yeah, that's awful generous, but I mean, it's what's myth and legends, languages, beast lore.
Yep.
That's McCann appreciates it, but one, that beaver fur is worth 250 gold.
That's why he was hoping you would hand it over. So-
Yeah, he looks like a clever guy.
Well, I'm afraid.
Well, certainly a knight like yourself should know something about beast lore. It allows you to understand your foes better. If you wish, I will simply pay him the 10 gold. I have like 200 gold I'm carrying.
And the gold will do you no good once you pass that event horizon. Best to just leave it all here. Anything you don't want destroyed, leave it here before you walk through there. So if Makander wants to try a beast lore improvement.
Yeah, that's generous. Thank you. Might as well. He's got a 5, so I mean, if he doesn't succeed this,
Yeah,
that's
you got a
pretty
75% or 70% chance of improving this. Oh yeah, there we go. Excellent.
great. Oh, I just rolled the skill. Whoops.
Oh yeah, well, that would improve it. So if you want to just increase your score, you can.
Alrighty.
Excellent. Well, I'm afraid I've taught you everything I know, which, granted, isn't necessarily going to help you with whatever is on the inside, but it's all that I know. If you're going to pass through, please put your names down in my book. And he turns his book around and holds out a quill.
I guess if we're going in, I might as well sign it.
If Phineas, do you show off that 200 gold or whatever? Or he actually, so he mentioned that those fossilized dragon droppings were the most precious thing he owns. He might trade them for that beaver pelt, or for 250 in gold. He might let them go for that.
Does seem far more esoteric than the fur.
He says, I'll tell you what, if you make it back out, if you give me back my dragon droppings, I'll give you back the fur.
Yes, I think that Makander doesn't really care about the fur as it is, and this seems like a very bizarre thing to have, but, you know, it might be related somehow. We don't know. It's weird magic going on here. Also, fair trade.
Oops, let me make this item. And, I was not expecting this, so let me, I'll put it on Makander. Then he's going to take your beaver fur. And he'll hold it. He says, you can have it back as long as I get all of my fossilized excrement back. There, you got that on your character sheet.
Fascinating. So, a living piece of dragon. Well, living.
This once came from a dragon. Although from the end where... Not the end that breathes the fire, but the other. If you're going to cross, please sign my book. Who wishes to sign first?
Agatha will sign first.
Ooh.
We're all going, right?
Nice. Good job, Phineas. Agatha, you scratch your name.
That.
He notes down a date and time of day. 5 p.m. on this wonderful summer's night. Sun will be setting in a few hours. Very good. Now, go with the gods. And he steps back to allow you to approach the barricade.
We got here at the end of our second shift of travel. spent a shift training. Probably
Oh,
should
true.
take
Yeah, it's going to be way late. Yeah, that's true.
our shift long rest, shift rest now before we go through, right?
Because yeah, it's actually it's dark. That's right. So it would be about 10 p.m. So if you want to sleep here, you could go in the morning.
I think Lucien has a condition to clear, so we are going down in history here as either the ones who solved this mystery, or
The most recent victims.
our names will be in the list.
Yep.
So let's just make sure we're.
So yeah, if everyone wants to do that shift rest, recover everything. Canutus, he sets up a little camp, and he says, "You'll have to provide your own food. I've only enough for myself." And he pulls out a little handful of seeds and bread and gobbles it up. Although I can sell you rations if you need some. And anything that you don't want destroyed, like I said, you can leave here with your man Canutus. I'll take care of it.
Drew, all right. I'm going to actually try an awareness check on him
Okay.
using my insight.
Oh, perfect. You get a boon on that.
No, just
Oh, that's right. It just lets you do it.
let's me see if he's telling us the
Right.
truth. I believe every word he says.
Yeah,
So
he sounds
we
reputable.
have this cart. Can we leave this here with you?
Yes, of course. I assume it's on the other side of the barricade. I can't see it from here unless you hauled it over.
Well, I don't think that the donkey can climb the cart.
If you're not back within a week's time, I will take the cart to Outskirt and leave it there. You may.
Yeah, you won't be able to do that. We want you to watch the cart, and I don't want to alarm you or anything, but there is a small, relatively griffin that really likes the donkey,
Oh my!
and if you try to harm either one of them, your book writing days will be over.
He holds his little monocle up to his eye. A griffin, you say? Well, I must make a study of this as well. No charge for tending your cart, as long as you'll let me make observations on the habits of a semi-domesticated griffin.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just be careful.
Careful, yes. Canutus is always careful. I merely observe. I do not interfere with the natural order. And he's...
While we're resting, would I be able to do something?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I'm sorry, were you done talking?
Yep, I was done.
Okay. In the inn, I had found an ornate ring.
Yes.
Did that have anything special about it?
It did in the inn, but as of now it does not.
Okay.
That ornate ring, if you you could have used that in the Road's End Inn as a means of getting past the witch that was in there. That was her ring.
Okay.
She wanted it back.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's yours.
Is there a price associated with it?
One listed. Let's say it's 15 gold. I'll adjust that.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, and I'll rest up, chew on my rations, and await our fate.
As dawn begins to rise up over the mountains to the east, and you break your camp, Canutus comes out. He's all bundled up in blankets and that great beaver fur he's got wrapped all around him. He's like, "My, this is quite sumptuous. A duck could live like a king with this. I'll take especially good care of this." Now, Agatha, you wrote your name in the book first. It is your right and privilege to go through first.
Okay. What do I do? Just walk into it?
Yes, it's best that you hold your breath as well. It seems as those who have been exerting themselves or have run through, well, I think I hear a little scream in the air when they pass through, but those who have gone through quietly, it seems quite nice.
All right.
Take one last look out at this beautiful summer morn. It may be your last.
Speak kindly of me.
That we shall. And as you walk up to the barricade, you slip through, and everyone else sees you walk through, and then you just disappear.
All right, team. I'm having second thoughts about all this. What are we even doing here?
Get in here, you bastards!
I thought she'd never leave. Jeez.
Phineas, with a little nod, he walks through as well, and you see him just vanish into nothingness.
The Raven and I will quietly go through.
And Canutus makes a note in his book, estimating the time by the sun and by this little sundial he has on his wrist, calls it a watch.
Doesn't do anything.
Step through, bold wolfkin. May you return one day to report what is inside.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And you know, nobody said field work was going to be easy, but someone's got to do it. So Lucien takes a calm step in with his eyes closed.
Oh, nice. Let me move you through the barricade. And Canutus looks at Makander. Now, our kind are wiser than those others that have gone through before you. You can still turn back if you like. None would think you a coward if you were to do so. We will not hear from your friends again. What say you, sir?
Makander, this is kind of a long pause.
It's like,
I believe he had to go grab a cat or something.
Ah.
He's away from his keyboard, but he said he would go right in.
Did he now?
But he also said that he was going to scream his head off as he went through.
Oh, okay.
As he slips through, actually, maybe Canutus pushes him through. He's like, come closely, look at this. Look how fine it is. Then he gives him a little shove. The 5 of you are now inside the barrier. Now, it was a beautiful summer morning when you stepped through the event horizon. You find yourself on the edge of a small village. A flock of sheep amble around a bit further away. A simple path leads to the village, which consists of a few modest houses centered around a tall black tower. On the other side of the village is a rocky outcrop with what looks like large reliefs carved into the stone. It was a summer morning when you walked through the barrier. It is now late afternoon and appears to be autumn. The air is cool. The trees are dressed in autumn colors, the light fading. Crows are circling above the tower. What looks like a large flagpole, only lying horizontal on its side, sticks out from the top. You turn back, and you do not see Canutus. You merely see the landscape. There is no barricade where there once was. You don't see your cart. You see nothing there. Simply the path leading into the vale.
Well, that'll make it easier.
If you try to walk backwards through the barricade, it's like walking in mud, and it goes slower and slower until eventually your movement is almost imperceptible. And you take a step backwards and it's slow, but then it slowly begins to speed up until you're at normal speed and you can walk away and you feel as though you have returned to normality. But it was as though time had slowed down when you walked through that barricade.
What's the weather like?
What's the weather like?
No.
It's in the afternoon, late afternoon. The air is crisp and cool. There are a few clouds up in the sky. However, as you're observing these clouds, give me an awareness roll.
Nope.
Well, you see something up in the sky, off in the distance. It looks like perhaps a flock of geese, but it's that lovely little V formation. But they're either really small geese and they're really close, or they're really large geese and they're really far away. Just something looks weird about it, but it's like maybe they're migrating. It's beginning to get late into the season.
Are they a flock of armored Makanders?
That you can't tell unless you push that.
No.
Although, Makander, if you want to give me a beast lore roll, you can have a boon on that as you're studying these birds.
Yeah, sure. That would be quite intriguing.
Those are not birds. You've seen birds before. The shape is all wrong. And they are very large and very far away. But they're not any sort of bird you have ever seen. Looks like there's about 8 or 9 of them. And they seem to be headed on a path that will take them directly above the village. Up ahead of you, you see the village square. And the village square is small and paved with stones, whose different colors form the image of a rearing dragon. The tall black tower rises nearby, casting its shadow over the place. A farmer with a walking stick waddles up to you, eager to talk. Hey, welcome. You're new here, ain't ya? Newcomers. You happen to see any of me animals here and there? Some of me sheep and me dog, they done got away. If you finds 'em, I'll give you one of me wife's freshly baked plum pies as payment for helping me catch these runaway sheep. And there's something weird about his language. Phineas, give me a languages roll. It's very rustic, very rural, but there's still something off about it. Yeah, no idea. Like you have to ask him almost like, what was that you said? And when he says it again, you realize it's a very old dialect that you thought was possibly extinct. It's almost like he's speaking a language that's not been spoken in centuries. It's very much like the common tongue, but it's very rustic and rural, much like the writing on the barricade was. Can you help me find my sheep?
Well, we've got nothing else to do while we're in here.
Well, no, we have lots. Did the sheep have statues on them?
The sheep have statues on them? No.
Well, then we got to do.
We don't have none of that here in Blackridge. No. Why?
Blackridge?
Yeah. That's the village here, Blackridge.
I've not heard it called that.
In fact, you have not. And let me have Lucien give me a myths and legends roll.
Right.
There was a village called Blackridge, and it was during the time of Eladane, 700 years ago. You lost track. In fact, it was said that the village was destroyed by fire. but that was nearly a millennia ago. Look, if you're thirsty, head down to the Blazing Breath, finest tavern of all of Blackridge. Also the only tavern in all of Blackridge.
So the worst tavern in all of Blackridge as well.
Tis also the worst. As long as you you mind your business and you're kind, you'll find that they'll treat you right there.
It couldn't help but noticing a flock of seagulls when we were coming in.
Seagulls? And he looks up. Nah. Oh, over there. No. Oh, dear. No. Them's dragons. Why?
Those are not dragons.
No, them's dragons, sure enough. You see that pole hanging off the tower? That's where they land. But not that many of them. Not usual like. Oh, I must ask Cato what's going on. Cato will know. He's wise, he is. And with your successful roll, Lucien, you recognize the name Cato. It's Cato the Curious. He was a powerful wizard who enjoyed the special trust of Eladane, but then you also heard that Cato betrayed Eladane.
All right. Well, okay, maybe not sharing that out loud to the group just yet, but Lucien will suggest that, well, since we're new to the village, we thank you for your time, sir. We will keep an eye out for sheep.
And me dog, me herding dog.
And your dog. I'm sure they won't be getting far.
There be a ram, 7 ewes, and me dog. I need them all back. There's a plum pie in it for you.
I love a plum pie, so we'll keep a sharp eye. But that tavern is really calling. So we're just gonna go take a walk and converse amongst ourselves.
Ah, hey, all right.
Lovely to meet you, sir.
I'll leave you be. And he kind of tips the brim of his hat. Blazing Breath, just down the street.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Have any other folks come through town in recent days?
Well, mostly the town folk. There was them strangers. Just a few. Well, when was it? Just a couple hours ago, I think. Was that that fellow with the big tusks? And then that woman, oh, she stunk a great deal, wearing all in black. She's got problems with her emotions, she does.
Tattoos?
She did have a tattoo, aye.
All right, well...
You'll find him at the Blazing Breath if you want to catch up to him.
Oh, we'd love nothing better, so we'll be on our way. Good day.
Hey, good day to you, sir. The village square is dominated by a large but dilapidated building in the shadow of the tower. Several of the windows have been boarded up, and above the door hangs a badly painted sign, which, with a little imagination, can be assumed to portray a jet of fire spewed from a dragon's mouth. As you open the door to the inn, you see about 10 guests in there. Most of them are dressed much like Farmer Rax that you just met, except for 2 of them, a burly orc and a lanky human. Let me post pictures here. There's the orc.
All right. Nobody move. We're looking for sheep, and we know you got them.
You say that out loud, and there's much laughter. You'll find no sheep here. You hear a few voices from the villagers cry out. We don't keep sheep here, no. But we find drink. And when you make your presence known, you see that man and that woman. They turn their heads and look at you. They're playing dice at a table. And they kind of holler out, "This table is ours. You remember that. Then they go back to their dice game. And the female says, "You'd best make yourselves at home. You'll be here a while."
Oh, I don't want to interrupt you at your table. We're actually not planning on staying all that long. Just kind of look around, get a feel for the town, find some sheep, get a plum pie, leave.
As your drinks are getting, your mugs are getting filled, and they begin to place them on the bar, you hear a loud banging sound against the side of the inn. In fact, the entire inn shakes, and dust comes down from the ceiling. People scream and squeal. "What was that? What was that?" And a few of them run outside, and you hear screams, and you hear people vomiting, and people coughing, trying not to vomit, gagging. Something terrible has happened outside.
Did the lanky, smelly person and the orc leave?
Nope, they stayed there. And they kind of shake their head like, no.
Does this happen often?
They turn up at you and say, "Only every day."
What's going on outside?
Well, it's your first day. Might as well go look.
Okay. I'll go look.
When you go outside, you see that the facade of the Blazing Breath Inn is covered in blood and meat. You see the mangled corpses of a ram and 7 ewes. It looks like balloons that have burst that were stuffed with ground meat. That's actually the flavor text that's written in here. It is not a pretty sight, and people are absolutely wailing and crying. And as you go out there, you see a sheepdog flying through the air at breakneck speed. It's almost a blur of a sheepdog, and it splatters into the front of the building and hits the ground broken and mangled, and more people are screaming and shouting.
Oh, good, we found them.
Yep, you have found the sheep and the dog.
Good Lord.
Give me an awareness roll.
Everybody?
Frostbite.
Okay.
It's hard to say what direction that all came from. It all happened so quickly. But the closer you look, you see it seems to have come from the direction of the tower. And again, there's so much shouting and commotion going on. Agatha, you look up. You don't want to see what's going on. As you look up, you see that V formation of birds has gotten incredibly close. And pretty quick, those screams and shouts of disgust turn into screams and shouts of horror as the flames begin to spill down all around the village. And the last thing that Agatha remembers is turning and looking and seeing Phineas's flesh incinerated from his bones, at seeing Makander boiled alive inside of his armor, at seeing Frostbyte's fur get singed and scalded as his skin bubbles and cracks, at seeing Lucien turned into ash within seconds. And then you look down at yourself and you see that your hands are nothing but skeletal bones with flesh dripping off as cinders build around you. Everything goes black, and then suddenly you blink and you're standing at the edge of the village where you are on the map now. And up ahead you can see a farmer approaching, kind of waddling towards you. "Hey, you help me find me sheep? I need a sheep and a dog. They're missing." "You're new in town, ain't you?"
Tell me more about this sheep and your dog.
"What do you mean? It's the first time they've gone missing. The wife will give you a delicious plum pie if you help me find them."
Ah, great. Is there any place in town to get supplies?
Supplies? Oh, yeah. There's a blacksmith. Sell you any ironworks that you might need. There ain't so much as a general store, but there's a few people set up a little shop. They sell, the bare essentials, mostly farming tools and rope and sacks and things like that.
Fishermen in town?
Oh, no fishermen in town. We farm, we hunt. No, you want a fisherman, you got to head out a little bit further west, over to Blackmore. That town out there, that's the place where you catch the fish. And Lucien, you've heard of Blackmore, and again, that's a city that got wiped off the map 700 years ago. If you're thirsty, you can always get a drink in town. We've a lovely tavern, the Blazing Breath.
How about camping gear? Like, I need a tent. Or 6.
Tent? I don't know if you'll find a tent. If you need a room, the Blazing Breath, they got rooms there. You're more than welcome to stay.
Oh, appreciate it. No, I'm more looking for tents.
If you need something special, like, why, you could ask Cato the Curious. He's the wizard in the tower. He would know, for sure.
All right. I intend on finding something that will allow me to catch incoming sheep in a net or canvas type thing.
If you got enough rope, you'd probably need about 6 units of rope. You could rig up some sort of netting. It might be like a seaman ship, or maybe a hunting and fishing roll to try and get a net rigged up that might allow you, and you just get some poles that might allow you to try and catch some sheep or a dog.
Oh, like a butterfly net.
A big net like that. If you describe that, he's like, I don't think you can catch a sheep like that. No, you just walk up and grab them by the fur and throw them on their sides and pick them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, at first I was thinking about, like a trampoline or one of those nets that they catch people that shot from cannons.
Nice.
But now I'm loving the idea of trying to use a butterfly net to catch sheep
that are going at like terminal velocity.
Well, it's only terminal for them.
Right.
Right.
Heading to town, I'm sure you can find whatever you need. Maybe you should not drink quite so early in the afternoon, good sir. 'Tis almost evening time. Have your supper first before you start drinking.
You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning.
That's what I tells the wife, and she tells me I'm not allowed back in the house.
I think we should go talk to the wizard.
Oh, Cato. You'll find him in his tower. As you head into the village, here you can see the tower. As you get close, there is a rancid smell coming from that direction. And you can see on the outskirts of some of the buildings near the tower, there's some carved reliefs on a rock near there. And a closer look reveals that they show an unusually large dwarf in various situations, accompanied by some dwarven writing. And a Myths and Legends roll will help you to decipher this. Oh, nice. So you've heard of Mormal the Dwarf. And Mormal the Dwarf, he was called Mormal the Tall, and several of his great deeds, such as Mormal's triumph over the Penraclian Lindworm, his famous 5 feats, and most impressively his tragic courting of the elven princess Ciri, they've all been immortalized in numerous plays and poems. But here in the relief you see actual images of Mormal the Tall, and there are some notes that read, "Do not go near the east side of the tower without a nose clip," and another that says, "Gorm likes plums." Near the side of the monument, there is a small patch of grass, and there's grass elsewhere, and the wind's blowing, but it seems like there's a patch of grass that's not moving in the wind, as though it's just the wind has no effect on this little patch of grass.
Right, so, sorry, where is the patch of grass?
So it's right next to this, so we'll say it's like this building right here. Along the side, there's a rock here that has this written on it, and the patch of grass is just right in front of the rock. And it's a little bit off to the side, and there is a stink coming from up here, the eastern side of the tower. And even from here, Phineas, you can see what's causing that stink. On the east side of the tower, under that protruding bar at the top, that the farmer mentioned that dragons might land on, that is a large heap of stinking sludge. The smell is so pungent it makes your eyes water, and all the vegetation near that dung heap has been reduced to putrid slime.
Does it appear to be some sort of creature?
No, it appears to be poop. This looks to be poop of some large, massive animal, or several of them.
Oh, perhaps part of some creature at some point.
Yes.
Who's got the fossil poop?
Makander does.
All right, have we taken a look at this since we came in?
Do we have a magnifying glass in the party? Does someone have one?
Yes.
With the magnifying glass, you'd be able to study this. It would be a spot hidden roll. And you get a boon with the magnifying glass. Who wants to take a peek at the poop?
Would this be a spot corn check?
It is. So, Frostbyte, you take it first, and you look at some of the fossilized poop, while Phineas goes and maybe gets a little stick and scrapes some of that dung. In fact, give me a Constitution roll, Phineas, as you get close to that fresh poop. Nice. It's bad, but you manage to hold your breath. And as you study the contents of this poop, and Frostbyte studies the fossilized poop, you can see there are correlations. It looks as though this perhaps came from the same beast.
So is this maybe, fertilizing that patch of grass?
Do you go and study that patch of grass, Lucien? That'd be a spot hidden to do that.
Oh, I think so.
Here, take this with you. I my glass.
So, Lucien, you go over into that little patch of grass, and you maybe get down, bend down, and when you're there, you can move the grass. It's not, hard. It's quite soft. You don't know why the wind wouldn't be blowing it. And you turn around and look, and you see the rest of your party standing there, some of them with their mouths open like they were saying something, but they seem to be frozen. So they're not moving at all, but you can move just fine. And everything around you realize you see faint movements. Everything's going very, very slow around you, but again, you are going at normal speed. And as you move out from that little patch of grass, everything then goes normal speed again. It's like while you were standing on that patch, time moved differently for you than it did for everyone else.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Maybe Lucien will jump up and down a few times in there and wave just to and then step out to see what everybody else saw.
So you go in and everyone else sees you just a blur, almost like you were moving so rapidly they couldn't couldn't even identify that it was you. It's like you blinked for a moment, became blurry, and then all of a sudden you're back. Now, about this same time, Makander, give me an awareness roll.
Right, uh-oh. I knew that was not going to be a dragon.
You hear... actually, you don't hear with the demon. You are surprised when you turn over, because I thought I would have heard this, and something whizzes right past your face. And it is a black and white, looks like a sheep moving at 200 miles per hour, and it slams into the front of the inn that you're standing near. And then you turn and look, and you see other sheep and the ram, and they're running through that dung pile and then rocketing into the front of the building and just splattering. And then you hear the barking of the dog, and people are coming out of the tavern and looking around and screaming and shouting. And the dog likewise runs through the dung pile, gets rocketed towards the building, crashes into the building, and then you look up, and sure enough, there's the dragons. And the fire spills down, incinerating the village. The tower goes up in black, oily, greasy smoke as you look around as everyone around you dies. You blink, and you're standing back where Frostbyte is at the edge of the event horizon, and you see a farmer walking towards you. "Aye, you help me find me sheep and me dog. Me wife will give you a plum pie if you help me." And let's take
I know where you'll be able to find your sheep in about 15 minutes.
Where, good sir?
Bring a spatula.
A spatula? Hey, my wife has one. She uses them to help her make these delicious plum pies.
Fairly certain the farmer is the problem. I stabbed the farmer with a sword.
Oh, what have you done? No. And he hits the ground, bleeding out. "Oh, me poor wife. She'll never understand. Who would do such a thing? We live in peaceful times. Eladane, save us." And then he dies. And you see other townsfolk come out just shrieking and screaming. And they assemble a small militia. They come out and they don't attack, but they urge you to back away. "Interlopers into Black Ridge, please, you're not welcome here. Go the way you came. Let us tend to our poor farmer Rax. Why have you done such a thing?"
He was a witch?
"A witch? No. You must speak with Cato. Someone go and fetch the wizard." And you see someone run into the tower to go and retrieve the wizard. The townsfolk are all upset. They're angry. And then within short order, you see the sheep rocketing towards the inn, and it all goes down again. Like Groundhog's Day. The flames come, the town's incinerated. You blink, and you're walking up the path. You see the farmer heading towards you. "Aye, will you help me find me sheep?" And
I would have felt a little bad if we solved the problem in that iteration.
Right? And you realize you are stuck in a time loop. Your bodies are aging day by day. In fact, probably a little more rapidly. You might look down and realize, I've got some more wrinkles on my face than I had before. But everyone else in town seems to stay the same. And let's take our break right there as you decide how in the hell you're going to get out of this pickle. So I will return in 7.5 minutes.
Alrighty.
ignore all the signs of impending danger, because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I escape from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. Deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion, I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down, the DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern, where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice in my fate is unspoken.
All right, I am back. Are we all here?
Yep.
Excellent.
I'm here.
Yep.
There's Henrik and Luke. It's Craig and Mark here, and Reese. Give them a moment. So clearly we have a time delay here before the dragons come, and limited amounts of time to do whatever options we want to do. And we just lost Reese from the chat. Hopefully he'll rejoin us. Craig, are you here? Or Mark, are you here? Nope, still not. So any plans or anything you have questions about that you've already discovered? There may be other things still to discover in town.
I do have an idea. Do you think it would work if I were to summon one of the salamander elementals and then have it try and protect me from the fire? Would it be able to do that? To shield me from it? Because it is immune to fire damage.
It's tough because there's like 7 or 8 dragons that come and just incinerate the entire town. So that you could try, and if you did, you would go through another hour and then it would reset again. Maybe you spend, well, we're waiting for the others to get back into the chat. Maybe you try that once, and it maybe keeps the flames off of you for 30 seconds, and then the flames, the heat is too oppressive, and you perish. Mark, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Excellent. Craig, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Excellent. I think we're just waiting on Reese. He dropped out of the party. He was here, and then he left. Hopefully he didn't rage quit, and we'll be back. In fact, he's out of Foundry as well, so hopefully he'll come back. So, Craig or Mark, any questions about what you have discovered so far? Phineas had an idea of using a salamander to try and protect him. And so during maybe the next iteration of this roughly 1 hour that you have in town, he tried that, and it protected him for about 30 seconds, and then he just was overcome by the heat and the smoke and the vapors as a flight of dragons came down and incinerated Black Ridge and wiped it off the map. There's Reese back with us, I think. On Foundry anyway, not back in chat. So it looks as though the farmer's missing his sheep. You know where the sheep are. They run through the dung pile and then get rocketed into the side of a building somehow. You've also found there's this little patch of grass kind of near the dung pile, closer to a building, where when Lucien went into that, it seemed as though time slowed down drastically for everything around him. But that little patch of grass, which is about enough room for one person, maybe 2 people to stand in, time went at a different rate. You've not explored the tower or gone to the farmer's house or any of the other locations in town. Most everything is pretty mundane. You might find, the tower is going to be, of course, interesting. If you want a plum pie, Rax's Farm is where you'd want to go. But otherwise, you have almost everything you need to solve this puzzle. Reese, are you back with us?
Yes, when I get up and go, do other things, and my
Your cat's...
laptop... Well, no, my laptop goes to sleep. It disconnects me from Discord.
Oh, nice. Well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I think we're all back. So, Phineas tried something while we were waiting for everyone to come back. He tried using a salamander to protect him from the heat. It did not work. And then it seems as though that day started over again in the same location as before. So you do know that you know where the sheep are. They've run through the dung heap and then get just rocketed into the side of the building. You did find this little patch of grass where time seems to move differently. You could go to the farmer's house. We'll say it's this one over here. His wife is baking plum pies there. There's also the tower you have not explored. There was writing near the that stone monument of Mormal the Tall that did say, do not go near the east side of the tower without a nose clip, probably because there's dragon feces there. And also, Gorm likes plums, which whatever that means, you don't know. How do you proceed from here? We start over a new day. You blink and you're on the path heading into town. You see the farmer saying, "Hey, help me find me sheep."
Can we burn the dung heap down?
Sure. You head over there and you use, straw and spells. And one thing that you find is maybe as you're trying to strike your flint and steel to ignite some straw on the dung heap, is that your right hand, you notice it actually has a little bit of the dragon feces on there. And when you go to strike it, your hand moves so fast that you nearly sever a finger as you strike through at breakneck speed, and sparks go flying, the flames come up, the dung heap is burning, the sheep hit this flaming dung heap, and now flaming sheep are flying across the village squares, crashing into the inn. Everyone screams, the dragons come and burn the town down.
I'd do that 6 more times, just because
because it's awesome, And every time, so maybe you experiment, and you find that it does seem that anytime or anything that has this dragon poop on it seems to move significantly faster than everything else. As the sheep ran through it, they went 10 times speed and just flew across the city square. Your hand goes incredibly fast through there. You maybe put some on your shoes, and you find that you can run around the town. To you, it feels like everything's going slowly, but to everyone else, you're just going faster than anyone has ever run before, faster than a galloping horse. It seems as though the dragon dung gives you a speed boost. And as you're running around town thinking, this is marvelous, you see the dragons come overhead and incinerate the town.
This shit's better than Red Bull.
Right? Red Bull gives you wings. This is even better.
Can we, and I assume we can't engage with the dragon at hypersonic speed before it burns a town.
There's too many of them. You could try. You could put some dung on an arrow. When you fire it, the arrow goes incredibly fast, and maybe you actually fell a dragon, but the rest are there to overcome you. And it seems as though this may not be the way.
All right.
Now, one thing that you have not done is you have not gone into the tower.
Yeah, I think that's the next step.
And
I think Lathander wanted to do that first.
Yeah. As you make it, again, it's the start of a new day. It's about a 15-minute walk from where you are into town. And gosh, if we have about an hour, I'm using up a fourth of that just getting into town. But you make it into town, you quickly rush up to the tower. And the tower rises nearly 50 meters from the ground and is made of ominous black basalt. On the side facing the square is a sundial, and on the east side is a protruding bar of polished steel with what looks like a feeding trough. The tower door is a sturdy old thing clad in steel plates and studs, with skillfully crafted dragon-shaped hinges. There is no door handle on the outside. A bell, in the form of a gaping dragon's maw with a clapper for a tongue, is mounted next to it.
All right. There's no time to lose. I'll ring the bell.
Yes.
When you ring the bell, the door is opened by an aged cave troll wearing a livery of black and scarlet velvet. His belt is full of various scalpels, severed hands and legs, whole heads, and other trophies. Here's a picture of him. He pats the trophies at his belt and says, "You'd best not be disturbing the peace or wasting my time."
Are you Kato?
I am not Kato. I am Gorm, guardian of the tower. You may not pass. Kato wishes not to be disturbed.
Yeah, well, I can't abide by his wishes, and I'll go past him.
He will push to the side to block you. This is your last warning. If you insist on proceeding, your head will decorate my belt next.
Gorm. Can I call you Gorm?
That's what everyone else does.
Gorm, in just a few minutes, there's going to be a flock of sheep coming by your shithole in the back. If you catch those sheep and give them to Farmer Rax, his wife will give you a lifetime supply of plum pies.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad.
You ugly ass son of a bitch.
He says, I'll tell you what. Why don't you bring me some of them plum pies and maybe I'll let you climb the tower.
All right. So let the city burn.
City
Come
burn?
here.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
We're just waiting.
shut up! You don't remember.
You just sit and wait for the reset.
Well, I'm telling the slurs. Okay, city burns. We go south of town. We run here, put shit on our shoes, go get the pie, get past this idiot, go upstairs and talk to Kato.
Okay. The day restarts. You sprint to the dung heap. You put the shit on your shoes and you dart over to the farmer's house. You can see a pie on the windowsill, and you see this farmer's wife. She's looking out at the beautiful day, wondering where her sheep have gone. Who takes the pie?
Agatha will take it.
So you're moving so quickly, you're just an orange blur, and you hear a scream, "Demon! Demon! Took my pie!" coming from the house as you yoink the pie and run to the door. You hand Gorm the pie. He takes the pie and says, head on up, why don't you? Beyond the hallway is a spiral staircase so long it is difficult to reach the top before the end of the cycle. You know that if you didn't have shit on your shoes, it would take 5 successful acrobatics rolls in a row to make it happen. You also notice many notches on the walls where previous adventurers have marked their personal records before the tower has burned down. When you reach up near the top, you see that the floors of the tower are taken up by a reference library, laboratories, and rooms where he has vivisected all kinds of creatures in his pursuit of eternal life. The place reeks of rotten flesh. You hear screams coming from outside, and you know that your time is short. You see a chamber at the top of the tower. As you open the door, it's filled with all sorts of books, boxes, and other strange objects. On the floor lies an old man dressed in a long wizard's robe. He looks at you. Here's a picture. And you can see by the droop on his face, this man has clearly suffered a stroke or other ailment. And just then, the town is incinerated. If you can do it a little bit faster, which means you need to skip a step or do something in order to save time, you'll be able to make it up in time. But that was close. Is there a way you can speed up the process of getting the pie?
Yes. We already have dragon shit. We don't have to go to the dung heap. We can put the dragon shit on our shoes as soon as we get here.
Absolutely. As you do that, you streak over. Agatha steals the pie. You hear a scream. You make it to the tower. You give Gorm the pie. You head up to the topmost room of the tower. And I'm just going to move Frostbyte, then I'm going to drag you all to that room.
Shoot crew, take 2.
Let's move you all over here. Perfect. Okay. As you reach the top room of the tower, you see the old man dressed in a long wizard's robe. Looks as though he's had a stroke. He's on the floor. Next to him sits a naked, human-like creature whose skin glows. Let me post a picture.
Wow.
So next to him sits a naked, human-like creature whose skin glows like the surface of the sun, hard to look at without being blinded. The creature's eyes are empty, black sockets, from which sulphurous smoke is billowing. The man on the floor crawls slowly towards a letter lying in front of the crackling fireplace in the corner. When the man sees you, he points to the letter and mumbles, "Burn the contract! Throw it in the fire!" The other creature smiles at you. "Nice of you to drop in. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?"
I'm the shepherd Rex. Have you seen my sheep?
You
And
are not Rax. I know Rax.
I mean, I'm not talking to this asshole. I'm running and grabbing the contract and throwing it in the fire.
Okay, let's go to initiative then. All right, go ahead and draw a card.
Oh, Frostbyte got it.
Oh, the demon goes first. The demon Ix. As you look at the contract and the demon sees you eyeballing the contract, he knows that the game is perhaps afoot. And, come on, show me the thing. There we go. The sulphurous smoke from Ix's eyes billows out and envelops a player character. The victim takes 2d10 damage and becomes scared. Armor has no effect. I'll do 1 through 5. 1 is Agatha, 2 is Phineas, 3 is Makander, 4 is Lucien, 5 is Frostbyte. 5 is Frostbyte. You can try to evade this if you want Frostbyte. It'll cost you your action unless you have fast footwork.
I don't. So...
Makander could guardian you if Makander wants to.
I'm not going to ask him to do that.
No, he totally would. It's perfect. He's in front of you, even.
But I think, doesn't the monster have to be within 2 meters as well?
See, that's always the question. I'm not sure. Yeah. It's...
Well, he could move over to here. Do you guardian?
Yeah, definitely.
And then do you have fast footwork? Do you try that? Or do you just take the hit?
Oh, no, he is not a fast duck.
You take 9 damage. Armor has no effect. Lucien, your turn. You can see here is the contract on the ground. And to pick it up is an action.
Okay. Oh. Why did I do that?
He fell down.
Okay.
Doc,
you know what?
scholars pay for dapping on the job.
Yeah, well, I don't think Lucien is armed with anything that will be much good against a demon. So, a mad dash for the contract.
You have to make an evade roll to get away from the demon.
I have a character with good evade.
Got it.
Nice.
So you can run over, and then it'll cost you your action to pick up the contract. And then this is the fireplace right here. But that's going to be the end of your turn. You do have a little bit of move left. You've got... Oh, you have a lot of move left. So you could move to the fireplace, but you couldn't throw it in just yet. Because there's a little grate. You'd have to move the grate, open it up. It's going to cost more action.
Okay, might as well get the whole way. Part of me wants to read this thing before tossing it, but
You
Does-
can
does it
start
seem like
glancing
a-
at it. So let me tell you a little bit about what you just picked up. So the let's see, is it on here? It is a it's some sort of cured skin, and you have a sinking suspicion that it's human skin. And it's written in typical legalese. You know, this has so many loopholes and things in here. It mentions providing eternal life for Cato the Curious, but then there's so many, provisos in here that this demon surely has the upper hand. And perhaps this is the eternal life that has been granted to Cato, is he gets to relive the last hour of his life over and over and over again. But it seems like that's what is going on here. Let's go to Ix's turn. Possession. Ix glares... Oh, I know who's going to possess. Ix glares at Lucien and takes full control of their body. You must make a will roll with a Bane. On a failure, you immediately perform a movement and action of Ix's choice, except actions that require willpower. You will also lose your next turn. So will roll with a Bane for Lucien.
oh, ooh,
Do you push it?
Push it real good.
Oh.
not the strongest willed.
He says,
Lucian
put the contract on the desk. And you walk over to the desk and you set the contract down where this book is. Frostbyte, your turn.
I'm gonna go over and open the grate.
Okay, make an evade roll to get away from the demon. Got it. And then you get the grate open.
Mm-hmm.
The demon's turn. Demonic dread. A chorus of voices rises from the demon's eyes to a deafening crescendo. All player characters within 10 meters, that's everyone, will become dazed and suffer a fear attack and must roll against will. Unless Phineas, Agatha, or Makander want to use their action to avoid it. So Phineas becomes dazed and then passes his will roll.
How about fearless?
Yes, you could do. You'll still become dazed, but then you could avoid making the fear.
Like fast footwork or something?
Yeah, to try to evade this, you could. I'd let you do that as you stuff your fingers in your ears really quickly.
La 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 la.
You got it. And then Lucien, you become dazed as well, and then you need to make a will roll to resist fear.
Oof.
Do you push it?
I think so, yeah. Oh, come on.
Let's see what your fear is. Wild Panic. You flee the scene as fast as you can. On your next, now you miss your next turn, but after that, then you will dash away. You will go down the stairs, and then you could make a will roll after that. So you're essentially out of the next round and the round after that, and then at the end of that turn, you'll make a will roll. So you're pretty much screwed. The demon. curse. Ix points at a player character and then utters an ancient curse. This cannot be dodged. The victim is blinded, acts as in total darkness. Let's see. 1 will be Frostbyte, 2 Phineas, 3 Agatha, 4 Makander, and 5 Lucien.
In case he really hates Lucien.
Oh, Phineas. So, Phineas, you will be blinded. So then
I will do Magic Shield on that.
you can do Magic Shield on that. Power level 1 will block that.
Yeah, I'm exhausted from all these bad rolls.
There you go. Phineas, your turn.
Okay, I will turn to a simple spell and use Fetch to pick up the contract and carry it over to the fireplace and drop it in.
So it can. Well, it says it floats to you. You make a loose object within 10 meters float to you. So then you would have the contract, is what you can do.
Right, I come down here and I bring it to me.
Perfect.
And then right before it gets to me, I have the hand drop it. I dispel that. Then I will use... where is it? Master Spellcaster.
Perfect. Gust of wind and blow it in.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Nice.
Don't you have Fireball?
I do, but I'm not sure if that'll work. There might be something special with this fireplace.
Okay.
Just
I don't know, it could be. Nothing.
make sure you don't blow the fireplace out with the wind.
I'm gonna give you a bane, just like you're trying to avoid like a player character. Plus, unless you want to push Frostbite into the fire as well, so I'll give you a bane on your casting roll.
Okay.
Oh, nice, lucky 7s. Okay, describe for me how this goes down. So that's going to push it.
So I
5
have
meters. Okay.
Yes, I have the hand bring the contract over and set it down on the ground in front of me. Then I step around and create a small gust of wind that blows it into the fireplace.
When this happens, you see Kato, the wizard. You see him exhale and he slumps to the ground, finally dead and finally at peace. And you see his body age in an instant, going from a living flesh to a 700-year-old corpse as his skin, it's, Indiana Jones, when he drinks from the wrong cup and his body just withers into ash. You see that happen to Kato, and he just becomes a pile of ash and old, brittle bones. Ix is furious, and Ix will demand, "Someone must take his place now, or I will destroy you all." Agatha, it's your turn.
How about you suck it?
Nice.
Farmer How about Farmer Rex?
One of you. It must be one of you.
She's gonna backstab this dude.
Nice. And he cannot defend. He's used his actions for the round.
No can defend.
Could have been better.
And then that's in. Oh, I got my extra dice
yeah.
too. Oh shit!
An extra one.
Come on.
Well, he's down to 58, so that's good.
Oh no. That's terrible. Can
Do you have Assassin? Okay. Do you want to add that on there?
No.
Too?
No, I wish I did. But I don't.
Do an extra
Can I
damage?
Can I move away from him?
Yeah, it'll take an evade roll. But you still have plenty of movement left. Yep. You can move 4 more squares.
Ah!
Nice. Makander, you're on your own. Your turn, sir.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out my bagpipe.
Nice.
Okay, I guess Makander wants to know why, if the contract's broken, why the hell is the demon even still here? Why don't you just leave?
Because I like it here. I have enjoyed watching the suffering for 706 years. I have watched this take place. Which of you will take the place of that sniveling fool, Cato? And he eyes Phineas. A wizard for a wizard?
No, nobody here is sacrificing them to a demon.
Then have at me, sir.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Do you push it?
No.
Okay. Phineas, you're up first.
Oh, I think Phineas will switch with Makander.
Makander, you are up first. Oh my gosh. It's because you're using your short sword instead of your battle axe.
He's got a 16 in swords.
Oh,
and a
dang.
15 in axes. That's why I'm using the sword.
Ooh, another curse. Ooh, X points at a player character within 10 meters and utters an ancient curse. The attack cannot be dodged. Okay. Let's see. We got 1 Agatha, 2 Lucien, 3 Makander, 4 Phineas, 5 Frostbyte. 2 Lucien. Let's see what animal. You are turned into a fox. Let me see if I've got a fox. Where's a fox? Right there. I'll pull a fox token out here for us.
Does he talk?
No. So common animals cannot speak. So
Damn it! I don't know what the fox say.
I mean, Lucien.
So,
I mean, Lucien will still be screaming in terror, and
it just sounds like a fox. So you have 6 hit points. So I'm going to move
run.
I'm going to keep the fox over here just to keep track of those hit points, because you'll be dead if those 6 hit points get wiped. You'll start death saving throws.
No.
Phineas, your turn.
Right. Oh. I suppose a fireball is in order? Or fire blast?
You discover, much to your dismay, that fire does not damage this demon. He seems to have an immunity to fire. In fact, he laughs at your 4 wins.
Fire.
Yeah, he laughs as you rake his body over with flames. Fool.
That was rather disappointing.
Well,
Frostbite.
Frostbyte is not. I'm fairly certain he's going to be. I was hoping that Makander hit with a short sword at some point.
Aren't we all?
So that I could see if he was immune to
weapon damage, non-magical weapons.
Yeah.
Well, he was hit by. Was that by Kennick's cleaver that Agatha hit him with? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's a magical weapon.
Yeah. So that no. All we can do. Sachet. Making sure to step on the wizard's nuts as I come over here.
But his nuts are now like little raisins.
Um, and we will try this. It's gonna suck.
Yep.
I get stuck in the Winter's spotting.
Nice, into his nut. His left nut is holding your sword now. Well, at least now the demon goes 3 times. So, which is good for, well, Lucien loses his turn this round. It's good for Agatha, who then can make an attack and the demon can't defend it. So, let's see what he does. Can't be a curse. Nope, can't be a curse because he just did a curse. Possession. Ooh. Glares at a player character within 10 meters and takes full control of their body. The player must make a will roll with the Bane. On a failure, they must perform a movement of the person's choice. Let's see. 1 Agatha, 2 Phineas, 3 Frostbyte, 4 Makander. Agatha. That is a will roll with the Bane, although if you could evade this if you want to do fast footwork.
Oh yeah, I'll do fast footwork. For sure. Evade. Here we go.
You got it. You can move 1 square if you like as well.
Yep.
And the demon will go again. Flaming Grip. Ix smiles as he grabs a player character and burns them with demonic heat. The attack inflicts 2d10 damage from fire. This can be parried. I'll do 1 Frostbite, 2 Makander. And armor will protect against this. So Frostbite, you can't parry unless you have the heroic ability.
Yeah.
Does
Nope.
Makander Guardian this?
Definitely. I'm wondering, could I also, if I use Guardian, could I then parry it? I don't really,
Only, you don't have your action left, so only if you had like the shield block.
Which he does, and defensive.
Then
as
yes.
well.
Yep, you could do that.
It would have to be defensive, because defensive is what gives you the extra parry.
Yep, so you could do defensive and then you could parry. Go ahead and roll your attack. Nice. Your large shield will take...
could break it.
Nope, 11 damage. Excellent. And then Ix will go again.
Strike 2.
Ix stretches out his hand towards the victim. Within 10 meters, the victim suffers 2d8 bludgeoning and is hurled the same number of meters backwards with tremendous force and lands prone. This could be anybody, but he's not going to target Lucien because Lucien is running afeared for his life. So that is going to be 1 Agatha, 2 Phineas, 3 Frostbite, 4 Makander. Phineas. Unless you have something to evade this. This is not a magical spell, so...
Well, Stone Shield
Stone
work
Shield,
with this?
yes, Stone Shield would work.
Ooh. All right. Sorry, I forgot. Is it? Yep, 2d6. Yep, I couldn't remember if it was
And if
2d6.
If you block it all, you will not be pushed backwards. So you will block 7, and it does...
much
10.
more.
Yeah, so you take 3 damage, you're hurled 3 meters, and you're knocked prone. Could have been a lot worse. Lucien, you lost this turn. Man, sorry, Mark, that sucks. Agatha, your turn.
I'm going to start playing the bagpipes for boons.
Okay, boons all around.
Get him, Makander.
Lucien, your turn. You need to run to the stairs as quickly as you can, and then give me a will roll.
Alright. Since my will rolls have been so good so far.
You have a boon.
So
You have a boon from the bagpipe music.
Yep, from the bagpipes. So you can
Oh.
roll it again if you like.
Okay, so
Your will is 10. You got it. So you hit the stairs. You're a couple of stairs down, and then you realize, what am I doing? I need to stand and fight. And now, next round, you'll be able to act.
But I'll still be a fox.
You'll still be a fox.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Something that just occurred in Lucian's little fox mind is so the contract is broken.
Yes.
If that means the looping curse is broken,
If the dragons come, you're screwed.
I wonder how much time we got.
Yeah.
Um,
Hard to judge. You haven't heard the people screaming outside at the tavern, but you know that could happen any minute. You can hear the sound of sheep from up here, so you know the sheep are close.
Just did Lucian happen to remember seeing like an exit to that long post feeding trough thing?
Yeah, so these stairs continue up. You could go up and make it out to that, like up onto the roof, and from there you'd have access to that landing pole for the dragons.
Oh, all right. Well, Lucian will maybe try to communicate that to the party if
Worst comes to
he
worst.
defoxes.
You could always jump off and land in the ship pile and make your way out. Let's see what Ix does. Demonic smoke. Oh, so the smoke from Ix's eyes billows out and envelops a player character. The character takes 2d10 damage, becomes scared, armor has no effect. This is going to be either Frostbyte or Makander. 1 is Frostbyte, 2 is Makander. Makander. You can try to evade this. You can't parry it, but if you want to try to evade it, otherwise 2d10, you become scared and armor has no effect.
Well, I might as well roll the evade because he's done for.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you get a boon.
Yeah, it's a straight roll for you.
No, it's not.
Because of the dazed, I think.
Oh.
Do you push?
Sure.
You got it? Oh,
No.
No.
Oh,
All right. Here's the damage. 13 damage. So you're not dead, but you're dying. And it's your turn. So you can try to rally yourself, or it's a death save. You're in a bad spot if you try to rally yourself, though.
Oh, yeah, and I have to take another condition because I'm already scared.
Yep.
Alright. I didn't roll. I accidentally rolled Constitution, but...
Well, and it should be with a boon, but do you have sickly?
Does the song give you a boon for death rolls?
I think it's all... Is it all rolls? I think we've done
I
it
think so.
for death rolls. Or if you want to re-roll that con. So, yeah, that would be a success. Agatha, do you want to trade with Frostbyte? Keep the song going?
I sure do. Absolutely. Get him, Frosty.
Frostbyte, you're up.
Well, I have an axe stuck in the floor.
If you switch
Now-
with Phineas, he might have something he can do here.
Well, I was thinking about getting Makander up while I had the boon.
Yeah, you could do that as well.
But
Either way.
if you think you can do something, I'll take my chances on 2 attacks. So y'all switch to Phineas. That's fine.
All right, Phineas, you're up.
All right. Phineas will step forward, and he'll call out to the demon and say, Demon, I will accept your terms, given 3 conditions.
Speak your conditions.
1, I wish for my companions to be delivered safely from this place. 2, you're a demon from the abyss, and I lost a friend there once. I wish for you to retrieve him for me. And deliver him safely to this party. And 3, seeing as my main goal was to discover ancient knowledge, seeing as I will be stuck here, I wish to have access to that knowledge which I seek. If you accept these terms, I will stay here as your replacement, as it were.
He holds out his left hand, and a piece of dried skin, a parchment, appears. It unfurls, and you can see writing as though burning in flame, searing and branding the pages. And you see your name, Phineas Stormcrow. You see the name Ix. You see just countless sentences, small text and footnotes and addendums, everything spelled out. And he holds it out and says, "Is this to your satisfaction?" And you see it does have the 3 things that you asked for.
This will suffice, and I'll pull out the pen I used to pen my spells, my quill, and I will sign my name on it.
As you sign your name, you can hear the shouts from below and the banging of sheep on the outside of the inn, and people shouting. And Lucien, you can hear the great swooping of wings from up above. And as Phineas pens his name on this parchment, Ix looks over it and says, "Now add a drop of your blood."
Very well, and I will do so.
You prick your finger and add a drop of your blood like a wax seal on there. And Ix presses his thumb into the blood to leave an imprint. And the page rolls back up into his hand. And he steps forward and says, "So be it. Now grovel before me as the end comes." Do you get down on your knees and grovel before him?
Phineas will do what is necessary.
As Phineas gets down on his knees, you see a light growing in the small windows leading outside. That is the light of Dragonfire as it spills over the tower and washes over the town of Black Ridge. And you feel yourself burning, all of you do. And then with a blink of an eye, you appear... let me drag over here. In the blink of an eye, Agatha, you appear back on the road that leads into town. Makander, you are likewise back in town. You are healed. You're no longer dying. You all have whatever conditions you had, but you're no longer dying. Phineas is not among you, but there is one among you that you have not seen in some time, and that is Thaddeus, stands out there. And you see also Canutus standing and looking, and he steps forward and says, "The barrier! It's gone!" And you turn and look at the town, and it's but a blackened ruin, a heap where nothing else lives. Where is your wizard?
The fool made a bargain with a demon.
A fool or
It
a
appears
wise man?
he has sacrificed himself for us.
Well,
And Agatha will automatically jump on Thaddeus. Thaddy!
I warned you that you might not all return, but you are the first to ever step foot through the barrier since I have been recording this. Come, tell me all that you know. And he bids you all to tell him of what you found in there. And as you're speaking these things, perhaps Agatha turns and looks back at the hillside that still bears some of the scars of that dragon fire, and you can see what remains of the tower crumbled and in a heap. And you get a whiff of brimstone and stink, and then you hear a voice in the air that says, "Be of good cheer." It's the voice of Phineas. And then it grows quiet once more.
But she's gonna die every day. and he'll never learn anything because he wakes up every day relearning the same stuff.
Perhaps the deal had been changed. Did you see the documentation?
I mean, yes, but it was really long and written in Infernal and boring. I skipped the end, and the butler did it.
I do not think that Phineas is here, else this barrier would still be here. I think the terms of the contract have changed. He is elsewhere. But surely he is under the heel of that demon, Ix. Perhaps you will find him one day.
Well, we don't call him Ix, we call him Nine.
Ah, 9. That is the Latin spelling of Ix. Now, did you find that what you sought? The piece of the dragon statuette?
No. We
No.
can go back and look through the rubble or whatever.
If it had been there, it would have been in that top room of the tower. And there was a desk, and you recall seeing a book. It was Cato's grimoire that went up in flames. But there was no fragment of statuette. In fact, you would be surprised if there was, if someone had brought that in here in that time. You don't even know if the statue was that old, or you suspect that the piece of the statue probably lies elsewhere. That this was a dead end in your search.
Oh, I mean, if the statue was there, then all we had to do was get up, and they could never be put together again. That'd be great.
We had a feeling it wasn't here for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would
Alright.
say that, but sure.
I wonder what happened to the lady with the stringy hair and the Tusky boy.
They likely, you would find their remains if you could. I mean, the whole townsfolk are just incinerated in there. But perhaps you find a few teeth that you think might have belonged. One looks like a tusk. Maybe that was from the orc that was there. But they would have been dead for 700 years. So essentially, you killed everyone in town, but they should have been dead long ago.
And they had a good long life.
That they did.
Well, for
And-
now.
And I got to kill the her twice.
You did.
I regret not experimenting more with flaming sheep missiles.
Right? Light them on fire as they launch through the dung heap.
I mean, what if we had built a ramp at the end of the dung heap?
Shot them at the dragons. So, Phineas is not dead. He yet lives. But, Henrik, do you want to bring another character in for the remainder of the campaign?
I figure Phineas is he's likely gone for a foreseeable time, so
Yeah.
I figured I'd play my mentalist now.
Is that Dunninger?
Yes, I believe so.
Let me put Dunninger in the thing here.
But I figured Phineas, his weakness was he was reckless and in search of knowledge, so those were two things he couldn't resist.
You see a friend of Canutus, Dunninger Greycape. He comes in and is standing there when you guys return, and notices that you are missing your wizard and offers his services.
Well, I mean, our wizard's gone.
No, he's not gone. He's but missing. Perhaps you'll find him one day, says Canutus. Of course,
Yes.
you may find his body eternally tortured.
Well, I mean, we got Thaddeus back.
In fact, Thaddeus, you are scarred. You bear the scars of your time in the abyss, and you should have ownership of Thaddeus now. And Luke, I'll let you decide what you do with Thaddeus. Do you play him? Do you continue to play Makander? Does Makander stay with Canutus, or does Thaddeus? Has he had enough of the adventurer's life?
Interesting. Um,
Bring it back. Bring it back.
It did start with Thaddeus. And it does feel kind of plausible since there was demon shenanigans. Yeah, I think I would like to go back to Thaddeus.
Oh, he's got some of those giant blueberries too. Do you give any of your gear to Thaddeus? In fact, you should have ownership of both of them if you want to transfer anything over. I think Thaddeus has better stuff, though.
Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah. It fell. Well, no, we've got this. No, he even used that dragon shit. That's cute. No, yeah, Makander didn't really have time to gather much, did he?
Mm-mm.
Quick question.
Yes.
Was I able to pull the magical axe from the corpse before we got transported out?
Yes, you would have had time.
Okay.
So we've still got about 30 minutes left. I mean, this is a great place to stop, but we can still keep going if you guys want to start heading towards the last place on your map. The piece has got to be there, the Deadeye's Cave.
Yes, sure. I think we can do a couple of bushcraft rolls.
Yeah, we fail a couple of rolls here and there. Let's go to here. So Phineas was the one that was making most of these bushcraft rolls. So let me measure. So we can get to there in a shift. So we need one bushcraft roll. And when you come out, it's morning, just like it was when you walked through the bubble. So it's morning on a summer's day.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. Frostbyte navigates the way. You get the wagon. Everything's fine. The griffin has not been tampered with. At least not that you can see. This next stretch will get us to just outside the bridge. There's another bushcraft roll there.
You guys know my bushcraft sucks, right?
Well, if someone else wants to do it, they can take it.
Agatha will try again.
Agatha can't do worse than she did already.
Yeah. Redeemed.
Nice. So there's a little farmhouse right here that you guys can see. And you reach the farmhouse. It's getting dark. It's be about time to set up camp. As you look around the farmhouse, you can see that there's no one there. No one moving about. No one tending to animals. Everything is quiet in the farmhouse.
Are there animals?
There are animals.
I'll feed the animals and put them in their pens or whatever.
As you go and tend to the animals, give me a beast lore roll to do that.
Okay, I anticipated you'd say that.
As you put the animals away, you can hear a noise, a clattering coming from the house, and a figure comes to the door, and it's a woman, and her eyes are milky white as though she is blind, and she cries out, "Who goes there?"
Weary travelers.
Oh, "We'll come. I have a roof. You're welcome to share my home. My family is gone. It is just I, Hildy. My niece Gunhild, she is somewhere, but I know not where. I wait for her every night, but she does not return."
How long has she been gone?
She's been gone for several days. Something terrible happened here. A creature attacked our farm, took many of our animals. All we've left now are our chickens, a pig, and whatever sheep we can find if they come back. Their fence was smashed down. This beast, I could not see it. I do not have sight. I have not been able to see for quite some time. But I heard its terrible sounds. It was vast, enormous, ferocious. It had a breath. There was of the most foul variety. It smelled of death, of swamp. Everyone was killed except for myself and my niece Gunhild. She has gone off in search of this beast, intent on killing it. She says that it must be at the Dead Eyes Cave, that mountain, and she points to the northwest, over there to the south. That mountain there they call Mount Oculus because it looks like a great eye. And you look the opposite way that she's pointing, and you know Mount Oculus. It's this place right over here. It doesn't look like an eye at all, but apparently that's what the people have called it. The pupil of the eye is a great cave, and the beast dwells within that cave. If you find my niece, please send her back to me. I worry about her safety. I have lost too many already. I would not lose her as well.
Oh, why didn't you stop her from going?
I cannot see. She snuck out. Did not see her go. I cannot go chase after her. All I can do is sit here and weave. And she points to a little loom that you can see on the front porch where she's been weaving woolen thread.
How fast do you think a sheep would be going and get caught in your wooden blanket?
I think I could catch a sheep that were going probably 62 miles per hour, but not much more than that. I fear the wool would not hold it.
Yeah. We've been seeing some Mach 3 sheep lately.
I'm afraid this would not stop that, no. Perhaps if it were made of mithril. But that's a whole other world than this. Come, stay the night. I have dinner ready. I'm afraid there's only enough for one, but I will share it with you. Exactly how many of you are there? I smell at least 3 of you.
No, you smell the halfling. She's just really, really weak.
Ah, well, she bears the stench of 3 then.
Hey!
And as you go into her house, you see that it is, it's not been cleaned in some time. It's in a little bit of disarray. There are broken plates on the ground, and things have been misplaced, and clearly this blind woman's been doing her best, but she's been failing at what she's been trying to do. She has been reliant upon help. But you have shelter here. You can feed your donkey here, and rest for the night. And so if you take a rest here, then you can heal up all your conditions and everything.
I'm gonna sweep the floor, get all the shards of broken plates up and stuff like that, so she doesn't cut her feet, and spend some time getting her, acquainted with the layout of her house so that she doesn't hurt herself.
Yeah, I don't know where some of the things are in this house.
Well,
Gunhild has changed the location of things that suits her, but she forgets that I have to memorize them.
Yes, well, let's get you reacquainted, and I'll spend some time getting, kind of giving her the grand tour.
She apologizes for the dark, and you realize there's no lights on in the house, no lanterns or candles. She said, we've candles somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't need them, so I honestly don't know where they are.
I'll cast light.
You bring light to the house, so now you can all see inside. She only has 3 bedrooms. One is hers, one is Grunhild's, and then one is for a farmhand. But there's room in the kitchen, at least under a roof. You'd set up some sleeping furs on the ground and sleep there, or if you want to sleep out under the stars, you at least have the protection of the home there if you need it.
gonna. So this is a farmhouse. Is there like in the pens, or is like a couple outbuildings or whatever?
Yeah, there's an outhouse. There's a small like a shed that would have some farm tools and a few bales of straw in there for some animals. It's mostly grain for chicken, seeds and grain. The pigs would be slopped with whatever food trash they might have from preparing meals. The sheep would just graze. There's no cows or anything large like that.
We're close to outskirt.
Yeah, you're
probably
you're a 3 or 4 hours walk to outskirt.
We'll probably stop by there. All right.
Do you
So
spend the
I'm
night here or
going.
do you go to outskirt?
We'll spend the night here, but what I want to do is I want to find out like the important parts that she has to get to, like kitchen, her room, shitter, whatever.
Yeah, she doesn't know where some of the where they keep the extra. I don't know what they used to wipe with. Probably like leaves or something. She doesn't know where all that's kept. It's always been replaced by Grunhill, and so she's embarrassed to say that she's just had to wash herself and do her best. And you see her turning bright red. She's just absolutely embarrassed to have to rely upon your help.
So I'm going to set up a I'm going to use like the bales from the hay and whatever rope we have, things like that, and I'm going to basically set up guidelines based on the thickness of the rope. It'll let her know which room she's going to and from.
So she has her yarn, and she says, "Feel free to use my yarn. I know the thickness at a touch, and it won't be quite such an impediment for others that might come here."
So yeah, I'm going to set up like rope, basically like
yeah, she can follow.
Yeah.
Nice, well done.
Use the yarn to set that up. I mean, at the beginning here, but she'll eventually get to the point where she's got it all memorized.
Yeah, within a week, she'll know where everything is.
With this around, at least for now.
Yep. She expresses her gratitude to you, and her eyes are filling with tears. As not even my own family would think to do such a thing. They would just tell me to sit, and they will do it for me. But I wish to be independent, to lead a life of my own that's rich and fulfilling, and you have provided this for me.
We have to go in the morning, and we will not be able to tell you to sit, and we'll do it for you. We have to get you set up so that we can leave. So, but this will get you started, and then you have the farm hand make adjustments as necessary when he comes and goes, or whatever. She comes and goes, whatever. But yeah, this will work a little while.
Well, do look after my niece. If you see her in your travels, send her home, please.
I mean, this is going to sound really, really... No. I'm not going to say it that way. Can you describe your niece?
Well, yes, of course. She's a girl. She's got dark hair, and she wears an earring. Let me see if I have a picture of her somewhere. And she holds up this picture frame that has like a landscape. I think this is it, yes. But the girl she describes, picture without the blindfold, it would look like that.
All right, so yes, I will see if there is a picture in the house that matches the description she gives me.
There is not. It seems like just to humor her, they're like, "Oh yeah, here, Aunt Hildy, here's a picture of your niece." And you get a sense that these people were not very kind to this woman who needed assistance.
Yes. What do you think of orcs?
Of orcs? Oh, foul creatures, terrible things. You're not orcs, are you?
I mean, no, but they're not all bad.
I've not met one I would call friend.
No.
They came through here 6 months ago and took much of our livestock. They did not pay for it. They simply took it, said they needed it. They had to requisition it for their army. Well, what army, I asked, and they told me to shut up.
Well, there's been a lot of bugs out west. They called the Orcan Army. Now, what about goblins?
Ooh, foul creatures. No, I don't smell goblin on you. I don't think you're goblins either.
That'd be accurate. What if I met a really nice goblin or a really nice orc who would come help you with the farm?
If you trust them, I trust you. For not even my own family has done what you've done for me. So if you know one that would help, I would accept that help.
All right. So I say we sleep tonight here. When we get to outskirt, I'll send a messenger to Maladuke. Tell her that we've got 3 pieces of statue and are heading to Deadeye's Cave, and tell her to send a respectful and helpful goblin to this farmhouse. I'll give her directions to the farmhouse to help the blind woman. And as long as the goblin takes care of her, he's going to be fed. He's going to not have to worry about being fed, which should be good enough for a goblin.
Awesome. I'm going to give you a reward at the end of the session, but if you want to take it now, either take focused or robust for excellent role playing, and I'm going to give one to Phineas as well for character sacrifice. Of course, you can give it to Dunninger. You don't have to give it to Phineas, but the heroic sacrifice, I think, merits a heroic reward. You rest the night. The journey to Outskirt is uneventful. You don't need to make a bushcraft roll. There's a trail, and you can see the city the whole way. You make it back to Outskirt. Everyone can heal up if you've not healed up and recover all of your stuff. You make it back into town. Is there anything you want to do in town before you head to Deadeye's Cave? Any provisions you need to purchase?
We got a ton of shit to sell.
Yeah, if you want to sell stuff, we can sell stuff. By this point, you guys have become more than minor celebrities in town. People are overjoyed to see you. You will get full value for whatever you want to sell. If you want to sell that beaver pelt, of course, you used the dragon shit, so you couldn't have given that back to...
No, yeah.
To what's his name? To Canutus. So you don't have the beaver pelt. But anything else you want to sell, they will buy from you. And they'll mark it up because this once belonged to the heroes of the Misty Vale. Or if there's anything anyone wants to buy. As far as in Outskirt, if anyone wants to do any training, Draneth can teach animism, healing, myths and legends. The smithy can teach crafting. The where else was it? There's somebody else.
Didn't the chubby cheeks
teach
the something?
The chubby people. Where are they?
So, want to make sure. Lucien took the skin of Satala, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
Barryton can teach persuasion.
All right,
for 10.
So
yes, for 10.
Right. Is there anything else in the cart contents that anyone wants to claim for? I go nuts.
No, I don't believe so. I'll take persuasion.
Like I'm not going to I'm not getting rid of like the healing potions or the sleep poisons or anything like that, but
Yeah.
The stuff that we might not use.
or the quivers, but
Yeah, so go ahead and do that. Oh, nice. Improved your persuasion.
Hey.
Excellent. At the cost of 10 gold.
let's keep.
Was someone teaching healing? I heard.
Yes, I think so. Let me double check that.
Is that the apothecary? I think was teaching that.
Was it Draneth? Draneth teaches. Yes, Draneth can teach animism, healing, or myths and legends. Well, you learned. It was a good refresher for Thaddeus, but just didn't learn much. Not anything that you didn't already know. But it's kind of strange to be back in the world of the living, to not be surrounded by fire and sulfur, and it feels good to learn from someone who uses their art to heal rather than to torment.
Think of how much he learned.
I know, right? Yeah, roll your torment skill. Anything anyone wants to purchase in town?
No, I think I'm good.
Not for me. Where'd you go? Here it is. You go ahead.
We can go ahead and this would be a great place to stop. We can go ahead and start some improvement rolls for those that are ready to do an improvement.
I'm gonna try to get him. Try to get him to teach me animism.
You got it.
So do that
he has a skill of 16 in animism, so as long as you're below a 16, he can try to teach you.
No,
he
that's all right.
Wonderful trick called light. It's wonderful.
Well, he taught me everything he knew to get me to be able to test it. So
true. Agatha, if you're ready, if you want to do your improvements.
Yeah, let me figure out which ones I'm going to do.
Or,
you can go to somebody else if you want.
Henrik, are you ready to do Dunninger's improvements?
Yes, I believe
And
so.
Are you going to learn a spell? Does Dunninger have?
Yeah, he does have some scrolls. So.
Does he want to
he's going to try and learn Mental Strike.
Okay.
But first,
languages roll. Or are you going to try and improve
first I want
languages first?
Nope, he cannot, but he will. Then he also has the Prism of Clarity that he will use for an intellect roll.
Nice.
So he learned Mental Strike.
Okay. Improved Evade. Improved Myths and Legends.
Ah, very nice.
Improved Brawling. Excellent. And then, do you have that spell on your sheet, or do you need me to move it up?
Yeah, I can add it myself.
Okay. Then, Thaddeus, if you are ready.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. You learned some acrobatics while you were in the abyss.
Oh,
Wow.
consistent. Oh, I was almost 18.
Man, that would have been awesome. And for those of, so I should have done this for Dunninger and Thaddeus. If Phineas and Makander had any like dragons or demons, I'll let you carry those over. So Phineas actually had a Myths and Legends one. If you want to roll a Myths and Legends for Dunninger, you can. And Makander had a awareness. If you want to roll awareness for Thaddeus. Nice. Myths and Legends went up. Lucien, if you're ready, we can do you.
All right. Okay, let's see how high we can get evade.
18 would be great.
No luck.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh, neat.
Nice. That's a good one. Another good one.
Not too bad.
Agatha, are you ready?
Yes.
Ooh, excellent.
Oh, shoot. I was clicking the wrong ones. But that's okay, because I was
Yeah, keep them.
doing good there. Okay. And did I go up in performance just now?
You did.
Okay. So
Performance
I'll
and
take
swimming
that.
both went up.
Okay. And evade. Nope. Bushcraft. Oh, see, it paid off.
Nice. That failure was a good thing.
And connives.
Ooh,
Damn it.
no.
And I think I had one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's it.
And then Frostbite.
Start with languages. Nope. It's legends. Nope. Persuasion.
Ooh, excellent. That's up to 17.
No. Axes. That's actually an increase.
Yeah, wow.
Crossbows. Oh, almost.
That's bad when you roll a 4 and it's an almost.
Well, no. At least on my screen, it was right next to the 18 that almost rolled over to the 18,
Oh, got it.
which would have given me an 18 crossbows.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah. And then I'm going to roll languages to learn the other spell in the scroll.
Okay. Come on, big money.
Yeah, I have to push that.
Yep.
Just
It's going to cost you
Gotta
a
do it.
tournament roll. You got to do it. There you go. Nice.
yes.
What spell?
So this healing scroll I had,
Oh, it
Had
treat
both.
wounds as well.
yeah, it had both treat wound and heal wound.
Nice.
So whichever one I don't have,
Awesome.
so heal wound. There we go.
Excellent. Oh, and
With that-
I should have had Makander make a Constitution roll to see if he had a severe injury. I don't know if he'll come back. He could be a good backup character. But Luke, if you want to have Makander do a Constitution roll, oh yeah, he's good.
Okay.
With that new spell, Frostbite could heal a non-permanent
Non-permanent.
injury.
Yeah. If you get a sore back, I can do it. If you lose your hand,
No.
you're fucked.
So next time we will go to the Deadeye's Cave. Spoiler, there's going to be a piece there because it's the last place to go. And then we will make our way back to Outskirt to go under the temple and put the statuette in the niche and open up the crypt and get Umdurman. And then all that remains is to go to the Isle of Mist, which I'm going to mark that on our map. If you haven't guessed, it's up at the top where there's a mirror lake, and now there's the Isle of Mist. We will journey up there to that little island and put an end to Azrael Koth. So that is what lies ahead of us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now we will
Good.
we will play next week, and then I am gone the Sunday after that. I'm going to be in Alaska on a cruise ship. I'll wave to you guys. Have a wonderful Sunday. But let's play next week. So next week we'll probably finish Deadeye's Cave and hopefully get the sword. And then we'll be off a week. And then when I come back, I think it's one session, but maybe two. And we'll finish the campaign. So we're coming up to the grand finale.
Awesome.
Any questions about today or kind of what's coming up? Again, we'll play next week, off a week, and then finish the campaign.
So nothing on the 6th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I will be in Juneau or somewhere on the 6th.
Okay, you poor thing.
I know life's hard, so it
I know.
sucks. Although it's going to be with like extended family, it's going to be like 17 of us, so it's that kind of vacation where it's the same family drama, just somewhere else. So,
Are you going to be running games for them on the ship?
so the last cruise we went on, or maybe the one before, we went with the whole family. We actually played in the main, not the main dining room, the buffet. We actually set up on one of the tables, and we were playing. And some people came by like, "Oh, Dungeons and Dragons," you know, and they were all like eyeballing and watching. And some of the people were totally embarrassed. I loved it. I thought it was great. So there's a chance we bring some games and play on a sea day or something.
You should download that travel-sized RPG.
I know.
game.
I bought that and I looked at it. I'm like, this would be perfect. But no, we're checking bags. Like I'll bring dice and character sheets, and I'm not doing Foundry. I'm not paying for the internet plan to get on
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it'll be good. I'll come back full of king crab and hopefully not eaten by a bear, and we will resume the campaign. If you guys have never been to Alaska, this is like my 4th time in 4 years, and it is top level. Like it's amazing.
Well, if you do see a bear, just remember marbles.
Right? So we've seen a bear every time we go. We see brown bears and black bears and killer whales and mountain goats and everything. So it's going to be a blast. And
Just remember, if it's a black bear, get big.
Yep.
If it's a brown bear, play dead. If it's a white bear, shoot your least favorite relative.
I haven't seen the white bears yet, but they do get they call them coastal brown bears. That's like the big grizzly bears down there, and they're big, like they are huge.
Yeah.
And I will. Don't worry about me. I'm going to have 8 square meals a day, so I'll be just fine.
3-4 rounds.
Right? If they're going to have a buffet open like 24 hours a day, I guess I'm supposed to use it. You know, I feel bad about the cooks making all this food if no one's going to eat it. So
You got to get your money out. You got to get your money's worth.
oh, they see me
Just
coming.
be-
Don't worry.